the forsaken wastelands of Australia. The ruin of the land caused from the fallout of the Great Omnic Crisis that set a chain of reactions of nuclear proportions. As the land settled from the irradiation, so too did the remnants of surviving human factions living amongst the dirt, sand, and junk. Amongst the ruins, an engineer by the name of Bruce found a badly injured girl and took her in. As time passed, and the fragment of the Omnic War grew a maddening place in the Australian outback, notorious for harbouring all manner of riffraff and lunacy, soon to be known as Junkertown. Junkertown was wild. Anything could happen here, and it decided its rulers via harsh, free-for-all gladiator matches with zero rules known as the Reckoning. The current ruler for the last decade was the Junker Queen, Odessa Stone. Amongst the scrap metal and turning cogs of the infamous town, a sweet blonde-haired woman by the name of Dazey worked tirelessly at her shop. Sweat tottered on her brow as she remained focused on her workbench, tinkering with a bomb that had peculiarly shaped eyes and ears that protruded from its sphere. Sitting atop Dazey's head were a pair of big mechanical rabbit's ears. Dazey was a craftswoman of sorts, one that garnered a fascination in the art of weaponry. It wasn't long before Dazey became the most sought-after weaponsmith in Junkertown, creating all manner of weaponry for challenges in the scrapyard fights and the seasonal reckonings, catching even the interest and services of the Junker Queen herself. Dazey welded by the hot, molten fire all kinds of weapons and explosives for all manner of junkers that could pay for her services. It wouldn't take long before she'd stumble across a few customers that weren't willing to pay what she was owed. Riffraff not used to the customs in Junkertown. Customers unwilling to pay for Dazey's wares became taboo. This angered Dazey the most as heat seeped into her eyes and flicked a switch in her brain. Her hidden personality would rise to the surface. In the aftermath of unpaying customers, there was nothing but charcoal and soot left. As time grew on, a young blonde-haired individual with a mechanical peg leg by the name of Jameson Fawkes came into her shop, looking to purchase particular explosives of a unique size and weight, something that only an individual practiced in the craft would understand. His alluring charm catching her off guard as he wormed his way into her favour with all manner of flattery. Dazey became totally and utterly besotted. It was love at first sight, and they were similar in more ways than one. Though Jameson had other ideas, ones that didn't involve Dazey, but only her beautifully crafted explosives and blueprints from a securely locked vault. It wasn't long before Dazey had come home to her shop one day and found the vault open and all contents inside missing, with remnants of explosive residue around the vault's frame.
You're blowing up!
A switch triggered in Dazey that day. She wouldn't be happy until she'd turned him to dust. Welcome to the hero reveal of Dazey, the weaponsmith of Junkertown. Dazey has 200 health and is a damage hero. Dazey's left click and basic attack is called Bunny Zuka. Dazey fires missiles from her Bunny Zuka at an enemy with long range capabilities. Each missile deals damage, similar to how Farah's rocket launcher works, though the weapon itself is a bunny designed bazooka and it also shoots bunny missiles. Bunny Zuka has 6 ammunition before Dazey must reload. The reload time is 1.5 seconds. Bunny Zuka's fire is similarly affected in ways that Farah's is by Diva's defense matrix, Sigma's kinetic grasp, Orisa's javelin sphere, and also Genji's deflect. Dazey's right click ability is called homing lock. By holding the right click button, Dazey can zoom into the scope of her Bunny Zuka and target lock an enemy player or player object. Objects will only be lockable if they are player summoned, such as May's Ice Wall or Torb's turrets, for example. When a missile is launched via homing lock, it will consume all of Dazey's ammunition, and afterwards she will have to reload. The damage of the missile launched by homing lock is increased by how long the enemy is caught in the weapon's scope before Dazey fires it. charging the damage further as she locks onto a target and holds it there. A minimum lock time of 1 second is needed to completely target an enemy in the scope and be able to fire off a homing shot towards their location. Objects and walls can obstruct the targets, though if they are shielded and are within view of the scope, they can be targeted, though the shield would take the brunt of the damage in this instance. While using homing lock, Dazey is vulnerable to other enemy attacks as she can only see through her scope view, similar to Widowmaker when she's lining up a shot with her sniper rifle. Homing shot deals much greater damage than her regular attacks, with each second after the initial 1 second lock time increasing the damage output further the longer she charges it. If a shot has been lined up for the maximum lock time of 6 seconds without interruption of sight on a target, the maximum damage output will be loaded into the shot when fired. Upon impact of a fully charged missile, the attack will deal devastating damage to the target and the area around it, giving the explosion of the Bonizuka missile a nuclear mushroom cloud effect, to where the resulting smoke gains rabbit ears and can temporarily disrupt enemy view with the white smoke before it quickly disperses. Homing shots, like regular missiles, are still susceptible to nullifying abilities from other heroes as mentioned before. Another balance to homing shots so that they're not too overpowered. Homing shots, while they don't alert enemies of their incoming arrival, they can actually be targeted by enemy fire if seen, and shot down before they reach their destination. If a homing lock missile is destroyed before it reaches its target, it will explode, dealing the same damage and effect what it initially would, but to the point of destruction instead. Homing shot also has a cooldown of 12 seconds once fired, just to further balance something so powerful. Dazey's E ability is called Bunny Bomb. Dazey throws a cute bunny bomb at a single target enemy. The enemy target is dazed with a dizzying effect for 4 seconds, and this will show yellow hopping bunnies jumping around the target's head in a circular motion just for a design effect. Dazed enemies will stumble in random directions and will be unable to attack or use any abilities during this time. If the enemy is damaged while dazed, it will snap them out of the effect. This also does mean that if Bunny Bomb is used on an enemy near a ledge, there is also a slight chance that they will walk off the ledge. Cooldown for Bunny Bomb is 14 seconds. Dazey's left shift ability is called Bounce. Bounce allows Dazey's next spacebar jump to gain jumping power in the direction of travel, allowing her to cover a greater distance in a big springing leap. If spacebar is not used, the bounce effect will disappear after an allotted amount of time, and the cooldown will start. Bounce's cooldown is 7 seconds. Initially, I did have Dazey being able to jump 2 times with this ability, but I thought with the 7-second cooldown and Sojourn's ability being relatively very similar, I didn't want to give her a more powerful ability. Dazey's ultimate ability is called Hop Jackhammer. Dazey launches herself in the direction the ultimate is aimed in, to where she jumps 3 consecutive hops. Whenever she lands for each of the 3 consecutive jumps, she ignites a devastating explosion on the ground, dealing large amounts of explosive damage to all enemies caught in the blasts. Dazey cannot cancel her jumps once it has been activated and will bounce her set 3 jumps in the direction aimed. This could potentially be disastrous if used near a ledge, as she will continue jumping and ultimately hop off the edge. If used against a wall or object that Dazey cannot jump over, the 3 jumps will still occur, but the damage will be isolated to one area, so this could actually be used in advantage to deal further explosive damage, as all 3 jumps are secluded to the one area. Obviously these are concepts, so there are a few tweaks that would need to be made here and there for Dazey to work in-game. Thank you for watching the hero reveal of Dazey, the weaponsmith of Junkertown. For my next hero, we'll be moving to the country of Britain with a new tank hero.
All in one!